Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is so much fun to have you all here. I'm Lesley Countryman. I am one of the coordinators of these events here on Tuesdays in the sanctuary. My colleagues, partners in crime, Peter Rinaldi and Nadim, are up on the bridge, bringing you all our lovely high tech. I just wanted to put this in context a little bit before we start the evening. I met Ara when I was 20, which was years ago, and she was a professor, a visiting professor in the dance department at Connecticut College, and she showed up and I was saying, what is this? Is it dance? Is it theater? Is it vaudeville? Who is this person? And I performed with her for 10 years and never got to the Foreign Service. So she made a big impact on my life. And we're celebrating this wonderful book that is going to be coming out soon. That was sort of the onset of this idea when Ara came, and I said, come and play here one day, come and show your art, let's celebrate your new book coming out, and have an evening. So this is the evening that has been concocted for you all. We will have a little reception afterwards if you can stay. But what I want to say about Ara that I think is just amazing is someone who tells truly stories in motion and agitates, collects, looks at things and creates things with humor and also with a sense of real humanity. So it's a perfect fit for here, and I'm so glad you could all come. Cass could not make it today. She was supposed to do our first piece. So we went to the bench and we found somebody. She'll be okay, but just make sure to give her a lot of props, all right? So the first piece is, why did Sarah Bernhardt sleep in a coffin? Let's find out. We will present this to you by the author herself, Ara Fitzgerald.
This is depressing. Let's pretend it's not happening. Why did Sarah Bernhardt sleep in a coffin? The present instantly becomes the future, and so is simultaneously the past. The present instantly becomes the future, and so is simultaneously the past. The present instantly becomes the future, and so is simultaneously the past. Oh. It's a continuum, after all. To be or not to be, to see or not to see, to flee or not to flee. To be or not to be, that is the question. It is said that the great 19th century actress Sarah Bernhardt slept in a coffin. A quote from her comes down through time. Perhaps it's true. She says, my bedroom was very tiny. The big bamboo bed took up all the room. In front of the window was my coffin, where I frequently installed myself to learn my lines. To be or not to be. To see or not to see. To flee or not to flee. All right. It's just to be or not to be. That is the question. Well, why did the legendary Sarah Bernhardt, queen of the stage, study her lines in a coffin? Slight shadows emerge, breathless, from the heart. Only of death can we be certain. Hey, did the divine Miss Sarah nap? Did she nap in a coffin? Well, how would you like to spend your time? Awake or asleep? How do you want to spend your life? Spend has end embedded in it. Death is a noun ground into dust. This is depressing. Let's pretend it's not happening. When my younger sister died at 50, leaving behind her husband and sons, 15 and 11, our aunt, then in her 80s, said quietly, "It has to be okay." It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Then a curious comfort. Surrender to the loss of every beloved one and ourselves. Yep. I'm pretending to be riding on a crowded New York City subway. Grateful to have a spot to hang on this rush hour train. I look around myself and I think everybody in this car is gonna die. We're all riding the D train, but we all get off at different stops. My mother's ashes are in a small box. She died in 2001. My mother had a melodious voice and was kind beyond measure. A childhood friend said to me, "You think I'm coming over to play with you, but really I'm just coming over to see your mother." I understood my good fortune and learned early to share. We who loved her were bitter with her loss and sang praises in memoriam. Yes, my mother's ashes are in a small box. She died in 2001. Ashes have a way of slipping to the back of the closet. In my anguish over not having figured out where the dust of my mother wanted to travel, my beloved partner reminded me how much she loved New York City and so was enjoying being here with us. My partner's beloved mother, well, her ashes are in a small box. She died in 2011. She spoke with a strong Austrian accent in 1938. As a teenager in Vienna, she had the courage to see that she had to flee on the last train out in order to be. In eternity, it is never too late to celebrate our loved ones who quietly watch and wait. They know, or there is no knowing. Why did Sarah Bernhardt sleep in a coffin? Perhaps she created a little play about death And during the run of her show, if she awoke in her coffin, she bounded onto the stage in present tense surprise and delight, never for a moment really believing she would die. The past instantly becomes the present. And the future and the present instantly becomes the past and the future and the past and the future and the present and the past and the future and the present and the past and the future. It's a continuum, after all.
The ever-fragmenting woman decided to go on vacation. But first, she had to buy a bathing suit. The first one she tried on had a little skirt that swirled out from the hips. It said, "I should go down to your knees, but I don't. You should go in the water, but you won't." She said, "No, thank you." The next one she tried on was gold lame, cut all the way up to the iliac crest, totally exposing hips and thighs. She knew she could no more have those buns iced and baked in time any more than she could be a stand-in for Demi Moore. She briefly considered going to the beach in her underwear, but decided against it for the sake of the children. Then she nearly fell down memory lane in a bikini, but came to her senses in a rip-off of a Speedo. One size fits all. Looks great under a towel. She was at peace in all the particulars. She had stopped running. This moment was life enough. When all of a sudden she heard, huffing and puffing. She turned to see a woman of her own age, chest heaving, wearing a real Speedo, and she said, "This is a private beach. You'll have to move on." But I didn't see any signs. This can't be my fault. Oh, they keep taking them down. Oh, you must be the woman who lives in that big house at the top of the dunes. Why, yes, I am. Tell me, do you rent or own? Because you look like someone who could understand. I'm sure you'll understand. Because this has nothing to do with you. I mean, how would you like it if people just traipsed across your lawn, sat down, and had picnics? Detachment. Vacation. Don't get reeled in. Let her go. I'd be happy to move on. Oh, thank you. I knew you would understand. I just knew it. She was at peace in all the particulars. She had stopped running. This moment was life enough. When all of a sudden she heard huffing and puffing. What? I didn't move far enough? No, that's not it. You see, my 13-year-old son said, "Ma, who do you think you are? You made that poor woman move." She wasn't doing it, she was just sitting there. I mean, like upside down, whatever. Like, you gotta let her stay, Ma. Jeez. So you see, you have to stay. Please stay. Not so fast. She wasn't used to being on vacation. She wasn't used to being interrupted on vacation. But still, she had to admit, she was a little bit relieved to be needed. Okay, I'll stay for the 13-year-old. Oh, thank you. I knew you would understand. I'm so relieved. I just knew it. You have my express permission to stay here. Oh, so now you think I'm your guest. She was at peace in all the particulars. She had stopped running. This moment was life enough. When all of a sudden she heard, she turned to see the master of the house in his Speedo, with the 13-year-old boy by his side. She noticed a scar that ran from the top of his chest to the top of his bathing suit. Heart attack, she thought? It's so lovely of you to let me stay here on your private beach. We would prefer it if you moved on. What? We would prefer it if you moved on. Oh, you're not kidding. Okay, sure. She watched as the man and the 13-year-old boy pushed off from the empty beach in their sailfish. Was she A, a coward, B, a pacifist. C, on vacation. As she was driving up here, she heard a story on the radio about Demi Moore. Apparently, she was filming an underwater nude scene. Nothing unusual in that. The hair floated, the arms and legs floated, but the breasts just sank. She ran screaming from the projection room, called the producer, and insisted on having a stand-in with real breasts. Even Demi Moore. One piece, jungle print bikini, cut out, strapless, braless, net bag, thong. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for coming. And, I'm Ara Fitzgerald. And thank you. I wanted to just say what an honor it is to be in this church. I've been at events here and loved the sense of community that Rutgers creates, and through Reverend Andrew Stelnick and Lesley Countryman and Peter Rinaldi and Nadim Ahmed and the staff here. It's incredible. It's what we need so much right now in the world. So it's moved me a lot both to come to events and to be here tonight. The thing I have to share with you is that I never knew I was going to make a little book, but Peter Cunningham said, you know, you have all those old scripts and those funny little pictures in the basement. Maybe you could do something about it. So it's been quite a while developing, and soon it will be completely finished and a trade book. Right now it's just an artist's proof. So I wanted to just tell you that I've never seen anybody do my work before. I mean, except group pieces I was making for people, but watching Lesley do Yoga Beach was a complete delight. Thank you. It's like, just, you know, nobody makes a solo alone. And so it turns out there are characters in the solos, and then there are also people who move the work forward. So the work is what's important. I have to share that Yoga Beach was actually a true story. It actually happened in Cape Cod, and you know, where there are 1,200 miles of beaches, but only 15% can people go to if they have a car. You know, something's wrong. So Hale Appleman, who you're going to meet in a minute, who's going to read Dog Day Ditto, he's an actor and a singer-songwriter, and when he was 11, it started early, you know, I think it's in the genes. He gave me notes when I was rehearsing Yoga Beach, trying to figure it out in the living room. He was 11. He said his notes included, sharper turn in beginning, turn toward the audience in bathing suit in underwear, move feet more when upside down in chair. All of a sudden she heard, move your feet more quickly. Keep spinning on the way out. when you make a mistake, keep going. He was a wise man even then. At the end, ha, ha, ha. So I also, just about Demi Moore, I want to say that I don't know if the piece on the radio is true, but I've seen recently she's been in the news creating her own modeling incredible bathing suits that she's creating now in her whatever, 50s or 60s or whatever. I mean, yay, Demi, go for it. So that's all I want to say. And thank you for being here. And here comes Hale to do Dog Day Ditto.
Hi. That's my mom. I love you. That was beautiful, Lesley, too. So I grew up watching my mother do these pieces from a really young age, and I saw her do this piece when I was 8, I think, maybe, and I automatically assumed as a kid that everyone's mother was a modern dancer performance artist. So imagine my shock when I found out the truth. This is Dog Day Ditto from The Adventures of the Ever-Fragmenting Woman, PG 35. The characters are the narrator, the ever-fragmenting woman, an 8-year-old student, and a dog. The ever-fragmenting woman drove down the highway to work. The ever-fragmenting woman drove down the highway to work. The ever-fragmenting woman drove down the highway to work. She was not A, writing an Academy Awards acceptance speech, B, writing her second novel after giving up a prestigious op-ed column at the paper of record, C, secretly dating Brad Pitt, D, lying in a Land's End hammock nestled between 2 scrub pines somewhere near the sea. The ever-fragmenting woman drove down the highway to work. She was doing 65 and using her peripheral vision. Good morning, class. Today is March 3rd, 1994, and we will study past, present, and future. For instance, did you hear the school band playing? Do you hear the school band playing? Will you hear the school band playing? Oh, I know. The answer is no. No. I don't know. Not quite. Could you share with us, please, how you got these answers? Sure. Listen carefully, please. Did you hear the school band playing? No. Do you hear the school band playing? No. Will you hear the school band playing? I don't know. I see. Before, during, and after. Past, present, and future. For instance, what did you do yesterday? Nothing. What are you doing now? Nothing. What will you do tomorrow? Well, I don't know. Okay, let's try this. Turn to the worksheet on page 34. Notice the picture of the vet with the dog. Do you see the bandages? That's what's going on now in the present, in the picture. I want you to make up a story about the picture of the vet with the dog and the bandages. I want you to think about what happened before and what will happen after. The picture of the vet wrapping the paw of the dog. What happened before? What's going on now? And what will happen after? Use your verbs and your tenses. Make sentences for before, during, and after. 2 sentences for each. Go. The car ran over the dog. The dog lay on the ground thinking of death. The veterinarian is helping the dog get better. The dog doesn't have any clue what's going on. The dog will be getting better. The dog will have a clue what's going on. Well, that's coming. Mrs. Fragment, the dog definitely has a clue what's going on. My dog does dittos. Watch. The first skyscraper was invented, A, to get closer to the sun, B, so people could work on top of each other, C, because there was no more room to go sideways, D, opposable thumbs.
Opposable thumbs. Opposable thumbs.
The fact that John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on the 4th of July means A, they were both born on the same day, B, they planned it that way, C, means nothing, D, opposable thumbs.
Opposable thumbs. Opposable thumbs.
The war was caused because A, the Archduke was angry, B, the people couldn't get any potatoes, C, opposable thumbs, D, the ship blew up.
Oh, there's always a pattern to these things. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Opposable thumbs! I would just like to say that what I really think is going on here is opposable thumbs. The short first digit of the human hand, opposable to all others. A tool, not a paw. Oh.
He has a point. I think we should welcome him to class. Say, welcome, class. That'll be all for today, class. The ever-fragmenting woman drove down the highway from work. She was not A, appearing before a Senate subcommittee, B, performing open heart surgery, C, secretly dating Brad Pitt, D, floating on a raft in Tahiti. The ever-fragmenting woman drove down the highway from work and flipped the GD minivan 5 fucking times. Watch the glass breaking. Watch the sunlight on the glass breaking. Watch the sunlight on the beautiful, shatterproof glass breaking. From this story, you can tell that the shatterproof glass, A, won't break, B, isn't sharp, C, will cost a lot of money. An octopus, when it is the same color as its surroundings, A, is happy, B, is upset, C, is dead. Just watch the beautiful glass breaking.
Watch the sunlight on the beautiful, shatterproof glass breaking, putting everything into perspective. The newly awakened shouldn't use their A, heads right away, B, arms right away, C, legs right away. The children still see angels. Take care of the jumping children. All the jumping children. Take care of the jumping children. All the jumping children. Do you hear the school band playing? Yes, I hear the school band playing in all its beautiful dissonance. All together now.
Some of you may recall the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. Or as I like to tell it, Eurydice and Orpheus over and over and over and over and over again. No matter how many times the story is told, I still step on that damn snake. Some of you may recall the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. Eurydice and Orpheus. Among all mortals, he made the most beautiful music. The gods wept with his song. She was his beloved, his Eurydice. In joyous celebration of their marriage, she cavorted in a field. Silly girl. She stepped on a snake. She died. Over and over again. No matter how many times this story is told, I still step on that damn snake. Orpheus bemoaned his fate, the sudden loss of his wife, with such grace of song that the gods wept. He could not bear to live without his beloved wife. So he bargained with the gods and asked to return to the underworld to bring her back to the land of the living. The gods granted his wish. Silly man. Footnote. There was just one requirement. During the journey to bring Eurydice back from the dead, he must not look back. Another way now. According to Virgil, there's another footnote. Near the upper earth, Orpheus, fearing lest Eurydice should fall and dying to look at her one more time, looked back, and she immediately fell back. hapless woman, reaching out, dying a second time. She caught nothing. Hapless woman, air, dying a second time. Not hapless woman, dying a second time. She complained not of her dying. For how can you complain for being so? She complained not of her beloved. For how can you complain for being so loved? Orpheus! Orpheus! Footnote. Anonymous. Orpheus! What were you thinking? Or were you not thinking? Have you no faith? I mean, have you no faith in me? That you just can't follow directions? Or is it directions? That you just can't follow directions? I mean, consider me before you look back. You consult me. You never ask if I want to come back. You don't even ask if I want to follow back. You just assume. And then against the gods, you look back and send me back a fool. Orpheus, you can look at me now. Do you really think all I want to do is to come back to wash your socks, tune your lute, polish your strings, and listen while you sing? Give me a little credit. I may not be billable, but I'm half the song. Orpheus, the gods know you. They know you, and they trick you. They're the producers. You're just the talent. They're the producers. You're just the talent. It's not always about you. Not always about you. How long exactly did you think they'd let Sisyphus stop pushing that bloody rock? Among other things. Huh? How long? Huh? Oh, Orpheus. Why so thoughtless, my love? Over and over and over again, no matter how many times the story is told. I cavort in a field in joyous celebration of our marriage. I step on a snake. I die. Well, Orpheus, I just want to let you know that I wish you could hear me. Many people write about it. It's so incredible. There are so many artists who write songs and sonnets and symphonies and poems and plays about us. And in some of them, I'm even mentioned by name. I'm even mentioned by name. Oops. Over and over and over again. No matter how many times the story is told, no matter how many times the story is told, I still step on that damn snake. Okay, this is going to be Slow Dancing is Easy. And I have to tell you how it happened. Jake Appleman, who's my older son, who's now a grown-up and a teacher and a writer, and When he was about 14, he went away to sleepaway camp, and I got a postcard from him. And it said, you know, "Dear Mom and Dad, you know, the baseball's great, the food's lousy, swimming's fine. Miss you, see you soon, happy to be here. Love, Jake. P.S. Slow dancing is easy." And I knew in those few words what had happened to him that summer. and it became the title of this piece. And I guess the idea is that I don't think we ever get tired of holding each other close. Da do 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 do, da do do, ba 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 do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do, da. Slow dancing is easy. Why should it be hard? Slow dancing is easy because it's almost always only about the hold. That rooted shuffle in the feet exists purely as a justification for hanging on so tight. I didn't say it wasn't complex. Take, for instance, 2 14-year-old hearts about to burst, whose owners nestle in the curved nest of shoulder and neck, or who simply contemplate the ear, who can be surprised by a strand of hair, his hair in her eye, ticklish, welcome, painful, or surprised by her curls, an oxygen mask of her curls like an oxygen mask at his face. Who thought of this slow dancing thing? Why, there's the foxtrot. Oh yeah, the foxtrot and the bunny hop. Oh, and the chicken, and the turkey trot. Oh, the turkey trot. Oh, and the monkey, and the jitterbug, and the samba, and the salsa, and the merengue, and the waltz. Viennese and American. Oh, don't forget the cha-cha. The cha-cha. The cha. The cha. Sweet turn. It's the dancer change. Yeah. Sweet turn. And straight ahead. Has anybody seen my partner? Or my shoes? Okay. Going on with imaginary friends who never step on our feet or get lost. In the middle years, slow dancing is easy because you can do it while driving the car, but only at stoplights. Or maybe in your little cubicle at work. Best in the hall. Or at home between chop and boil and scrub the tub and, oh, hi, how was your day? You don't say. Where are you going in such a hurry? You live here. What? Lost your sense of humor, sweetie? Me too. Care to join me in a movable hug? Ooh, that's right. We can slow dance all night. Or until the baby wails. He's just asking to dance rock him on your shoulder. Lie him on your shoulder and rock left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. It's the slow spin lullaby. And then the later years suddenly waltz by, and suddenly in the later years, slow dancing is still easy, but as you can see, finding a partner or your shoes can be hard. Care to join me in a movable hug? I said, care to join me in a movable hug? That's right, that's right. Bring your walker over here. Yeah. Remember the limbo? That was about how low can you go. This is about how slow can you go. Slow dancing increases the heart rate or decreases it, depending upon age. What about the tango? I forgot all about the tango. Oh, the tango. Wow. The upper body event of the tango. Oh, yes. Now, study the little book and do the little feet. Left foot, slow. Right foot, slow. Quick, quick. Let's do that again. Okay. With the arms. Left foot, slow. Right foot, slow. Quick, quick, slow. These dances are hard. Hard enough to make Arthur Murray a millionaire. A billionaire? A billionaire. To make Arthur Murray a billionaire and Fred Astaire, a god. Slow dancing is easy because you can do it. You can do it when the floodwaters rise. Come with me. Sea of love, Phil Phillips, to the sea. The final partner, invisible as air. Oh, slow dancing can turn a minute into a minuet. Hold on to each other tight. Hold on to each other tight. Make that minute minuet last. Indefinite, indeterminate, obstinate, infinite. Do, 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 ba, 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 boo. Find out about it more. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you, everybody.